Women who chose to have a child-free life. How is everyday life for you? I live for bottomless naps. Are we talking endless naps or pantsless naps? At this point both, lol, the sky's the limit. Hard enough without kids. I couldn't imagine how I'd deal with kids on top of that. I do have several pets though with some special needs. This is exactly how I feel, lol. So hard as is. I don't have kids, pets, or even plants. I enjoy the freedom, including not having to worry about more things than I have to edit. I don't have a partner either. I'm content with life right now and never feel lonely. I absolutely love my partner. But over the years I've really started to realize that I felt the pressure of society to be in a partnership. That I felt pitied by people as a single woman. And so really sought out a partner when I never really needed to. I think I would really enjoy being by myself. And while I can't stress enough how much I love my partner, if we broke up or something happened to him, I'm fairly certain I would build a life just for me with no intention of finding someone else. My colleagues assume I'm lonely and depressed because I'm not attached to anyone. The amount of times I've been told, "You'll find someone when you least expect it," or "We need to find you a man," is unbelievable. Even when I tell them I'm actually happy being single and loving this life, these are the same people that constantly complain about their spouses and kids. 35. Married at 32. No kids. No plan for kids. We sleep great. No worries when we go to sleep. No priorities when we wake up. We live life on our terms. There are children in our family. Extended. We enjoy them and enjoy giving them back. I'm Indian. Gujarati. I think of all the women in my ancestry who didn't have a choice but to marry and make children. I'm the first one with a real choice, and I take my luxury and privilege seriously. Being child-free is a lifestyle choice that goes against everything capitalism advertises to people to keep them on a hamster wheel. Child-free people aren't meant to fit into the nuclear family structure. We find our own place, our own unique joy. I'm a fellow Gujarati, 33, and let me tell you, I constantly get badgered by friends and family asking me when I'm going to have kids. Gosh, even my mum is waiting to be a nanny. The pressure is immense because all my friends/cousins got married around the same time as me and have or are having kids, and I just get looked at like I'm a weirdo for not being interested in having any. I'm not totally against it, but why should I rush? Like you said, I have a choice, so I'm choosing to put myself first for a change. No disrespect to your family members personally, but I'm beginning to think that people that pressurize you to marry or bear and children are often those who subconsciously regret their life choices and pass on the same bad advice to you that they received and blindly followed. I work with kids on a daily basis as a counselor. I love kids, but would not want to deal with the stress myself of having one. I work, hang out with my partner and cats, and relax. I worked with kids for a few years and I couldn't imagine going home and dealing with another one of those. It's great. I went to work today, decided around 4 PM I wanted to do a little shopping, so I got gas, went shopping and won the fight I had with myself about going to Starbucks. I then came home, took care of my puppy, and spent the last 3 hours in bed, about to head to sleep. MRN lol, the puppy part 2. For a long time I waited for that shoe to drop, or that I need to be a mom alarm to go off, but it never did. So life is good. The last 5 years have been the absolute hardest of my life. This year is looking like it's going to be the 6th. All I want is a boring year where nothing much happens. I cherish the quiet, boring days when I can just watch bad reality TV on the couch with my dogs. I too am still waiting for the blaring tones of my biological clock to sound so deafening in my ear that only a baby's scream can drown it out. Waiting for the supposed impossible to ignore or defy baby fever to hit me like a wave to where I would jump screaming with madness on the nearest naked sea I could find just to get a baby. But yeah, it never happened. I'll still glance from time to time at my invisible wristwatch when someone asks when I'll finally have kids and proclaim, "What time is it now? Oh that's right, never." Then go back to living in my quiet blissful freedom. Wow, this is beautifully written. I've only really just come to the realization that I have no desire to have my own children. It's so refreshing to have so many women speak to their own experiences, affirming that despite societal norms, I can have a full life, even if I choose an empty womb. Struggling already with maintaining my own mental and physical health. There's no way I could have children. But yeah, like everyone else said, I love having my own freedom, time, and space to myself. Peaceful, quiet and wonderful. Mostly fantastic. I heavily invested in my nieces/nephews and the children of my friends. I don't dislike kids. I love kids. I fully show up when I can. I do have a great job full of travel and adventure, so having no kids is a lot easier. I don't think I could maintain my schedule with children. Sometimes at home, when it's just my husband and I and my dogs, it feels really quiet, and I sense I have boundless energy and love to give, and nowhere to put it. I will not discount that. I give it to my art, my friends, my dogs, my family, but I don't get to nurture exactly a way that I think must be some small bell-like call of motherhood. Maybe some tiny human is in the picture for me, down the road. I don't know. Maybe I'll foster. Maybe I'll mentor. Life is full of endless possibilities and I don't need my own biological child to be a mother. So I live to the fullest and keep my head up for who needs help and love. You just never know. I'm not sure if Big Brother Big Sister is a thing where you live, but it sounds like it might be up your alley someday. Goddamn, it's awesome. Freedom. Disposable income. Naps. Peace and quiet. According to Twitter though, someday I will realize how empty and devoid of fulfillment my life is. Gotta live it up while it lasts. Amazing. A lot of my friends had children and all they do is whine and complain. Meanwhile I'm free to do whatever I want, whenever I want. It's amazing, lol. Same. I love my niece and nephew, but anytime I see Mysil and her partner they're so exhausted and burnt out and make jokes like have 2 kids. They said. Exasperated sigh. I know they love being parents, but they seem so freaking tired and grouchy all the time now. I really don't envy them. Wonderful. Since I'm a night owl with home office, I prefer to start my work day at 6 PM and work until 1 to 2 AM. Then I go to bed and sleep until 10 AM apostrophes. I have a snack drawer in my desk, and if I feel like taking 30 minutes sometime during my workday and read for a bit while drinking tea and wolfing down a Snickers. Nobody says boo hoo. I want chocolate too. Mommy share. The only thing missing is an office assistant with fur and whiskers. But I'll be checking out applicants at the local animal rescue over New Year. I'm still broke, but I've got less worries and stress. Naps anytime I want. I can go do whatever without worrying about a babysitter, or if it is child friendly. I wouldn't trade it for anything. I mean, normal. I have my stresses like anyone else. Between mental health issues and running a small business there's plenty of stresses, but I keep busy. I budget for groceries and plan meals like anyone else. Like to read, but sometimes have to use audiobooks if there's not time to sit down with a paper copy. I do have more freedom than people I know with kids, though. We don't need to plan for childcare, schedule around nap time, worry about a kid trying to eat something they shouldn't. There's none of the stresses involved in keeping someone alive who thinks trying to stick a fork in an outlet sounds fun. It's honestly a hard question to answer because I've only ever lived my life without kids. It's the baseline, so it's just normal for me. I seriously cannot fathom how people handle it. I mean, I know it's like everything else in life and you just figure it out the best you can because you have to, but holy shit. Being responsible for just myself feels so challenging some days. I cannot imagine having the weight of that dependency on me. So everyday life feels just as busy as people with kids. I just have a lot more choice and flexibility around what I fill my time with. I think part of what makes me a good friend / daughter / auntie / sibling is that not having to devote huge chunks of myself to a specific and limited group of people, children, means I have more to offer when they could use some support. Today I woke up at 6 AM, fed the dogs, drank my coffee in bed while the dogs and my partner were snuggled in the comforter beside me, got ready, went to work, came home, walked the dogs along the lake while listening to my favorite music, made an easy dinner, took an hour-long steamy bubble bath with wine, cuddled in bed now. Each day is different and dynamic with typically no major plans/rules. We live in a decent-sized city, so there's always something going on. My favorite thing is the peace, calm, and quiet. I grew up in a chaotic household. Didn't know this lifestyle was the key to my happiness. Contrary to some popular opinions, nothing feels missing. I still have enough responsibilities and interests to fill all of my time. By not having kids, I can pursue my own interests rather than living vicariously. This year, I started ice skating and participated in a group number in an ice show at the rink. I felt really guilty about spending the money to hire a coach to work with me privately, but someone pointed out that I wouldn't hesitate to spend that money on my kids' activities, so why feel guilty about spending it on myself? I'm so happy. I'm 42F and live in a small apartment with my also child-free partner. 40 meters. We are saving to buy a house outside the city in the next few years. Our life is quiet, clean, and we spend our weekends doing anything we want. The restfulness and extra money in our pockets are happy bonuses. But the freedom is something no amount of money can buy. Every aspect of life as a parent seems unattractive to me. This is going to sound awful, but even hearing children's shrieking laugh scream sounds like nails on a chalkboard to me. I'm originally from a conservative country town in Australia. The concept of being child-free really wasn't spoken about when I was growing up. And when it was in hushed tones. Like there was an implied abnormality we just shouldn't speak of. But I'm so grateful that I realized I didn't want children before I had them. Unfortunately, a lot of people realize this after they've had them, which has proved problematic, to say the least. Amazing, free, empowering, highly recommend. Awesome. Wouldn't trade it for the world. I love being able to sleep in. I love being able to spend all my money on myself. Would highly recommend. On good days, it's quiet and relatively clean. On bad days, I'm grateful I don't have children relying on me for everything when I can barely take care of myself. Some of my plants occasionally die off, and I'm like, oops, thank God I'm not going to get arrested because I didn't water my orchid for a few too many weeks. I still enjoy all my nibblings, but they are not my responsibility. I'm childless and just broke up with my BF of 3 years who has 2 kids with other women. I are the kids. I did my best to make it work with their dad, but I don't deserve disrespect. I'm not sad about the breakup. Today I spent $150 on toiletries. My rent was paid early. My tank is full. And I have a date tomorrow with someone I have more in common with. No kids. Self-employed. Has spoiled dog. I masturbated and took naps the past couple afternoons after work. Not sure I'll bring the date back to my oversized place tomorrow. I might let whether I clean the bathroom mess or not decide for me. My ex called me heartless. I'm like, not the irresponsible parent there, so I don't feel bad. I may still send gifts to his moms for the kids at Christmas. I feel more capable of being a parent now than ever, but still not able to offer the quality of life a kid needs. I have crippling mental and physical health issues and daily life is miserable. In addition to all the comments about freedom, travel, money, and peace, I also find I can take more risks, since I'm not responsible for another human's existence. One thing that has allowed me to do is freelance in my industry. Since variable income isn't as scary when it's just me, I think I can be more personally and professionally ambitious without the added responsibility of children. I also think being child-free allows me to have a bigger social circle and more capacity to impact my community. I find nuclear families in the US to be pretty insular, and it often consumes your focus, so you aren't able to invest in other relationships or pursuits. My everyday life is pretty great. I have a ton of interests/hobbies and a ton of friends that I get to invest my time and energy into. Sometimes I crave more meaning in my life, but I don't think a child is the only way to create that, and would interrupt a lot of other meaningful things I enjoy. Amazing. I get to do whatever I want whenever I want. What's to complain about? I'm in my late 20s. Just got married, and we both don't want any children. Any holiday we have is going to be a honeymoon. We can afford 2 mortgages, one for our home, and the other for an investment property. We can go out whenever we want, wherever we want. And budgeting is much easier as you don't have to worry about financing a human being for the next 18 years. So I guess it's ideal to have someone to love though. Aka you have a loving partner //carrot // This sounds like the dream right here. Glad it's possible, and you guys are so in sync with your plans. 3. Way to go.